This is the story of a boy who uses his creativity and engineering skills to create a robot that wants to help everyone. The story begins with an illegal underground robot fighting competition. 14-year-old Hiro Hamada brings his own robot to fight Yama, whose robot has never been defeated. This robot, though small in appearance, was created by Hiro himself. However, when Hiro activates its kill mode, it completely destroys Yama's robot and wins all the money. Yama becomes furious. He seizes Hiro's robot and sends his goons to kill him. But then Hiro's brother, Tadashi, arrives and rescues Hiro. Tadashi explains to him that bot fighting is illegal, but Hiro says he earns a lot of money from it. The two are about to escape when the police arrive and put them in jail along with the other bot fighters. Their Aunt Kess, who has been caring for them since their parents' death, comes to rescue them. She takes them home and scolds them severely. They both go to their room. Hiro takes the boat and starts to go back to boat fighting. Tadashi stops him, saying, "You passed 12th grade at 14, and now you're boat fighting." Hiro asks, "What should I do? Go to college like you and relearn what I already know." He starts to leave, but Tadashi says, "I'll come with you." But instead of boat fighting, he takes Hiro to the university. At the university, Tadashi introduces Hiro to his friends Gogo, Wasabi, Honey Lemon, and Fred, and shows them their experiments. Then, Tadashi takes him to his lab, where he applies tape to Hiro's hand and pulls it, causing Hiro to scream in pain. Hearing the painful scream, Baymax, the healthcare robot Tadashi designed, activates. Tadashi explains that he has stored numerous medical research in the chip, making Bex a complete doctor. Bex scans Hiro and discovers an injury to his hand. He then heals him. Baymax then says, "You'll have to tell me to switch it off. I'm perfectly fine now." When Hiro says this, Baymax goes to his case and switches it off. Hiro and Tadashi are talking when Professor Robert, head of the university's robotics department, arrives. When Hiro tells him that he does bot fighting, Robert says that his daughter also had the same interest and suggests Hiro apply to the university. After leaving the university, Hiro says that he wants to enroll there. Tadashi shows him a plaque that says, "Every year, the university holds a showcase. If you achieve something unique, you can get admission." Hearing this, Hiro becomes confident and starts thinking of an idea, but he can't quite grasp it. Then Tadashi jokingly turns him upside down to train his brain. Then Hiro looks at his bot, and an idea strikes him. He then begins working in his garage. He works day and night, completing his project. Then, with his friends and Tadashi, he goes to the university showcase. When his turn comes, he's very nervous. He takes out a microbot from his pocket, but people aren't impressed. He starts to lose heart. Then Tadashi gives him a nudge and encourages him. Hiro wears a neurotransmitter and explains that these microbots can be controlled with mind signals. He demonstrates how these bots can work together to help with construction and travel. Everyone is impressed. Hiro's presentation ends, and his friends are overjoyed. Just then, Cray, the CEO of Cray Tech, arrives and offers to sell the microbots to Hiro. But before Hiro can say anything, Professor Robert arrives and stops him. Cray leaves. Robert then gives Hiro the university admission letter. Hiro's aunt tells everyone to go to the cafe, but Tadashi stops Hiro, and the two start talking while walking near the university. Hiro says, "I am who I am because of you." Just then, they hear a loud noise. They both rush there and see that the university building is on fire. A student tells them that Robert is still inside. Despite Hiro's refusal, Tadashi runs inside the university to save Robert. His cap falls off. Hiro picks it up. But then, a huge explosion rocks the building. The explosion occurs, and Hiro falls away. The next scene shows that Robert and Tadashi are no longer alive, and their funeral is being held. People come to Hiro's house to mourn Tadashi's death. Hiro is deeply saddened by his brother's passing. After a few days, everyone returns to their lives, except Hiro, who is still overwhelmed with grief. He doesn't even want to go to university. His aunt tries to console him, but he refuses to talk to her. One day, when his aunt leaves, Hiro is packing up his bot. Suddenly, a part of it detaches and falls on his leg. His scream of pain activates Baymax, which is kept in Tadashi's room. Despite Hiro's refusal, it takes care of him and scans him. However, Hiro refuses to get a checkup. He tries to turn off Baymax, but slips and falls. Then, he notices some movement in his clothes under the bed. When he checks, he finds a microbot, swaying, as if trying to join the rest of his microbots. Hiro thinks it's damaged as all the others were destroyed in the fire. So, he unceremoniously puts it in a glass case. But Bex picks it up, examines it closely, and tells him, "Your robot wants to go somewhere." Hiro jokingly replies, "Then you see where the microbot wants to go." Bex agrees, leaves the house, and heads in the direction the microbot tells him. Hiro sees Baymax has gone out onto the road, so he follows. But his aunt stops him, so he tries to pretend everything is normal, and leaves. Baymax has already gone quite a distance. Hiro chases him and finds him near a warehouse where the microbot is trying to get in. They decide to go in, but the door is locked, so they sneak in through the window. There, Hiro discovers that someone has copied his microbot and created millions of similar ones. This noise alerts the masked man to their presence, who attacks them with his microbot. Hiro and Baymax run outside. On the way, they see the masked man. Seeing him, he jumps out of the window, and Baymax's battery runs low. So Hiro takes him back home and charges him. While charging, Baymax notices Tadashi's hat. He asks Hiro who he is. Hiro tells him that Tadashi is dead. Hearing this, Baymax comforts him and calls his friends to ease his grief. Baymax then hugs him. When Baymax asks about the cause of Tadashi's death, Hiro explains everything. Only then does he realize that the fire wasn't an accident, but was deliberately set by the masked man, so he could steal the microbot. Hiro takes Bex to the garage and upgrades it. He creates a new chip containing karate techniques and inserts it into Baymax along with Tadashi's chip. He also creates a special suit. Now Hiro tests Baymax and sets out to catch the masked man, but they are being chased by a van. Unaware, they arrive at a warehouse where nothing is happening anymore. Seeing the movement of the microbot, they follow it to the sea. There, the masked man stands on one of the microbots and heads towards them. Hiro and Bex hide. Just then, the van carrying all of Hiro's friends approaches them. Hiro tells them to leave, but just then, the masked man attacks. Bex saves everyone, and they flee in the van. The masked man attacks the van, causing it to fall off a bridge. The man, thinking they're dead, leaves. But Bex transforms his body into a balloon and brings everyone back to the surface. Afterward, everyone decides to hide, so Fred takes them to his mansion. Seeing it, no one can believe it's Fred's house. Once inside, Hiro creates the bird symbol he saw on the masked man's belongings. When he asks everyone about it, no one knows anything. Fred theorizes from his superhero comic books that the masked man could be Cray, since Hiro refused to give him the microbot. Bex explains that he scanned the man and found his medical history. Hearing this, Hiro is overjoyed and says he'll build a scanner that can scan the entire city. Hiro says they'll have to upgrade themselves to catch the masked man. He then takes everyone to the garage, where he says they need to remove the masked man's mask, as the transmitter will be behind it. He scans everyone and creates gadgets for them using their own inventions. He also completely upgrades Baymax, allowing him to perform a rocket punch. He now has wings and can fly. They circle the city to test Baymax's flight skills. Then they sit down to rest. Hiro is delighted, and Baymax tells him to leave. But Hiro refuses and insists he scan the entire city. In doing so, Bex finds a match for the masked man on an island far from the city. They take everyone there. There, they see a room where everything inside has been destroyed. They then go to the control room, where they find a video in which Cray has created a technology demonstrating transportation by creating portals. He sends pilot Abigail inside despite the portal malfunctioning. Abigail is trapped, and the return portal closes. Meanwhile, the first portal begins to suck everything in. While they're talking, the masked man appears and attacks them, but Bex saves them. However, the masked man attacks again, knocking Bex away, and Hiro goes to look for her. The others fight the masked man together, but they fall together, defeated, and masked man is about to kill them. Just then, Hiro and Bex arrive. Masked man attacks them, causing Hiro to fall on him, causing his mask to fall off. Hiro grabs the mask, and when masked man turns to him, it's Robert instead of Cray. Hiro replies, "You died in the fire." Robert replies, "I had your microbots." Hiro replies, "Tadashi went in to save you." Robert says it was his mistake, which enrages Hiro, and he orders Bex to kill Robert. But Baymax couldn't harm anyone while he was in healthcare. So Hiro removes Tadashi's chip from him, causing Baymax to go into danger mode. Baymax attacks Robert, but everyone else tries to stop him. Hiro also drops the mask from his hands. Robert picks it up and starts to escape using the microbot. Honey picks up the chip and puts it inside Baymax, restoring him to normal, and Robert leaves. Seeing this, Hiro becomes angry at everyone. and they explain that they only wanted to capture Robert, not kill him. But Hiro doesn't listen and asks Bex to find Robert. However, his sensor isn't working. Then Hiro takes him to the garage and fixes his scanner. Hiro tries to retrieve Tadashi's chip again, but Bex had removed Hiro's access to it because he had endangered him. Hearing this, Hiro becomes angry, but Bex tells him that Tadashi created him to help everyone. Baymax shows Tadashi videos of the creation process. Seeing this, Hiro understands that Tadashi wanted Baymax to remain that way and becomes emotional. Just then, all his friends arrive, to whom Hiro apologizes. They forgive him and give him a USB flash drive to show him something, which Hiro plugs into his laptop. He then sees a video, revealing that the pilot who entered the portal was Robert's daughter. Robert, believing Cray to be responsible for his death, stole the microbots to avenge him. They get ready and head to Cray's new building. The scene then shifts to Cray, who is opening his building. Robert arrives, grabs him with his microbot, and connects the portal, pulling Cray's building into it. The heroes arrive, attempting to stop Robert, but he is unable to stop them. Undeterred, he attacks them with his microbot, knocking Baymax away. While Hiro flees into a building, he's pulled into the portal. However, Hiro grabs a wire, and the others attack Robert. Robert traps them. Hiro tells everyone to hold back and find a way out of the trap, and they all obey, running their separate ways. Seeing Hiro in danger, Baymax frees himself from the microbot with his rocket arm and rescues him. However, Robert leaves Cray and heads towards them. Hiro then announces a new plan. Instead of taking the mask, attack the microbots, which will separate them and send them into the portal. Honey and Fred release smoke, preventing Robert from seeing anything. Everyone separates the microbots and begins sending them into the portal. Robert leaves everyone behind to catch Baymax and Hiro, but he has no more microbots left to attack. Baymax detaches the microbot, moves toward it, and breaks the mask, causing the portal to fall down but not close. Everyone starts running away, but Bex senses someone alive inside the portal and says there's a girl inside who is in hypersleep mode. Everyone realizes it's Abigail. Bex and Hiro go inside the portal to save her, where they find a different world. They find Abigail and are carrying her toward the closing portal when a part of Cray's building hits Baymax's body, shattering Bex's suit. His thrusters also fail, and he can't fly. But Bex says, I have another way, and he attaches his arm to the board and fixes a rocket. This will send them both out, but he himself will remain there. Bex tells Hiro to turn it off. You have to tell me I'm fine. Hiro refuses, saying, I don't want to lose you either. Bex says, I'll always be with you. And then, tearfully, Hiro says, I'm fine. Hey. Smiling, Baymax fixes the rocket and flies away. While Hiro comes out of the portal with Pot, everyone is very sad to see Baymax, and Abigail is taken to the hospital for a checkup. Robert is arrested. After this, everyone starts living happily in their lives. One day, Hiro removes Baymax's rocket arm and finds Tadashi's chip in it, which he creates a new Baymax and inserts into it. Baymax returns with all his memories. Then Hiro fulfills his brother's dream and starts helping people along with all the heroes.